Today we're going to talk about the principle of zero products, which sounds really serious, but I promise you it is not. Let's see. If I were to ask you, what is 5 times 0? Who tell me? 0. And if I said, what is 4 times 3 times 2 times 0 times 8? Do a ton of math, you would just say, oh, Miss Millerick, that's 0. And if I were to say, what is negative 24 times pi times 17.3 times 0, you would say, not a problem, that is 0. 6 times some mystery number. Oh my goodness. I meant to say write x, and I wrote the answer. 6 times some mystery number equals 0. What would you tell me about x? You'd say, well, if two numbers multiply to make 0, one of them has to be 0. So you would say x equals 0. And if I said, good, now what if we multiply x and y? And that equals 0. You would probably say, well, we're multiplying two numbers, and their product, they multiply to make 0. You know, either x is 0 or y is 0. Or I guess you could even say both of them could be 0. This one, or maybe even both. And that is the principle of zero products. The principle of zero products says if two numbers multiply to make 0, then one or both of them are 0. So, what does this have to do with what we were talking about yesterday? Let's take a look. Yesterday, we were looking at some graphs. We were looking at parabolas. So let's just real quickly graph a parabola. This, I think, was an example we did. Let's say we have a parabola who has x-intercepts at those places right there. This is the x-axis, that's the y-axis. And I'm just going to make sure we have a nice looking parabola here. Okay. So that's just a beautiful parabola. I'm going to make a beautiful blue parabola. Now, that parabola crosses the x-axis in two places. It crosses it here and it crosses it there. Well, if we were to think about this, that occurs at x's. Whoa. Oh dear. At x is 2 and at x is 4. So at 2 and 4, it crosses our x-axis. Now, remember, you may recall, we kind of looked at some patterns. We said, well, the equation to this parabola was x minus 2 and x minus 4. And we talked about a pattern that we noticed that if this is 2 and this is 4, then this will be x minus 2 and x minus 4. And if we had a different parabola, maybe with one positive, one negative, then the numbers would be switched. So the signs of the numbers switch. That was what we discovered yesterday. Now, why is that? The question is, why is this true? And here's the answer. Notice. So we could say 0 is equal to x minus 2 times x minus 4. The y-intercepts occur, the x-intercepts occur. Well, look at this. We have two numbers that are multiplying together to 0. So what does that tell us about our two numbers? Remember what we said up here? One or both of those numbers, up here, one or both of those numbers is 0. So either x minus 2 is equal to 0 or x minus 4 is equal to 0. And now let's solve those equations. Add 2 to both sides. X is either 2, add 4 to both sides, or 4. We have just solved for our x-intercepts. Ta-da!